Welcome back on deynonmod. Today I want to propose you this short video that it's about a particular way to realize a goblet, a chalice. This is a video that it's made in the way that it's an example how you want to do this, because based on the shape that you realize the volume of the form itself, you can personalize it and make in the different ways, in different forms, in different shapes, the goblet itself. So this is the volume itself that you can realize, but if you want to add some details after and so on, you can add after on the surface of the goblet itself in the way to have a personalized one. So this is a main example how to realize it. Then to have a more detailed one, it's up to you the way to personalize it better. The first step about this video, this goblet, is the way that you cut the sphere or the oval that is the goblet itself. Cause if you cut it in the not perfect way, you'll have a not good surface, not a plain surface to refer to. So I suggest you to put a line designed with a pencil or so on, in the way to have a better understanding where to cut and be more precise about it. The difficulty about this passage is the precision of this passage itself. And anyway, I want to remember you that doing this it's based on the shape that you do to the goblet itself. If you do the goblet in the oval shape, anyway, you have to cut less than in the sphere. So you have a major part of the goblet itself that it will be longer in shape. So you have to decide if then to cut more from the goblet itself as the height of the goblet itself in the upper part, or otherwise you want to do it and it's okay for you. This is up to you, decide how to do it anyway. Here it's the problem that you have to pay attention about the cutting of the surface, because the volume of the sphere decide also the problem of how much the goblet itself it's problematic to realize, because if you cut in the wrong way, you have to adjust then, so you cut more part of it again. So this is the part that you have to pay attention about. In this part instead, you have the details to add, that it's about the base of the chalice itself, or the goblet itself, that you have a little to make flat, so you can decide how to realize it, but you have a bit to make flat in the way to have a better surface where to glue the thing that will be the middle part of the goblet itself, so you have a better surface to use and have support about it. Instead, in the goblet itself, the upper part itself of the goblet, in the flat part of it, you can drill about it, pay attention to be in the center, so to have a symmetric part around, so that you can have a better surface that can represent a sort of depression, and so represent better what is the goblet itself. Here you can then add in it a bit of color, a bit of painting, and then cover it with a bit of gel that it's about liquid one, so to have a sort of liquid effect to add in it, or for example add some flumes, something that exit from the chalice. You can also only paint it and be okay like it, or you can use for example something like for the game workshop one that has something about blood as color that you can put in and so realize a sort of blood inside it. It's up to you how to realize it anyway and decide how to detail it. And here it's about how to realize the middle part of the goblet itself. I suggest you first to create a hole in the bottom part of the goblet and in the curved part in the center of it, of the goblet itself in the upper part, and pay attention to be in the center about them. To bridge them together, I suggest you to use a clip, because it's a sort of using a technique based on the pinning about miniatures, so it's quite simple anyway. I suggest you to use an office clip to realize the inside it. About the diameter of this clip. It's up to you based on the volume itself of the goblet that you are realizing. So you can also make use of more of it together if it's big enough. So in this case I used only one. And about the amount to cut, it's up to you about the height that you want the goblet to reach. So first, I suggest you to decide how to reach the goblet in height, and I suggest you anyway to remember that a part of the pin itself, it will be used to glue it in the bottom part and in the upper part. So you have to pay attention to make a bit longer, so to have this excess of parts, to use it as bridge for the pinning itself. Then to make the middle part detailed, it's up to you how to decide to realize. You can use green stuff to cover the pin itself, of the pin of the clip, in the way that then you can modeling and carve it as you want. Or for example, use something that I do myself, that it's to use some similar beads and so on to realize the goblet, the middle part of the goblet itself. It's up to you how to realize it. There are the details that it's up to you to decide simply. Anyway, this is what you have to pay attention to it. I suggest before to full the middle part to glue it, the pin itself, in the base part, so that you have a stable one where to put inside, and then reserve a part of the pin itself in the way to glue the upper part of it. Then the final part is to glue the upper part of the goblet itself to the middle and bottom part, and so realize the goblet itself. Here then you have to decide how to personalize it, so the decoration that you want to put on it. It's up to you, because it's based on the things that you want to have. For example, if you want to realize half goblet, you simply have, before to realize the middle part, to cut half the upper part and the bottom part, then realize the middle part on the surface that you want to use. So it's another trick that you can use to have goblets on some surface. Otherwise, for example, in the case of the Space Marine that you can see up here, that it's the Sanguinary Priest, I used it because in this case this apothecary didn't have the goblet in the hand, and I like it. So I simply decided not to use the middle part of the goblet itself, and instead how I did, I taken a hand that had a fragmentary granite in it, I cut the upper and the bottom part of the granite in it, and then I realized simply gluing it, making obviously a little drill and using it to put the pin inside in the way to have the pin in, and then glue the part in the way to have it. But anyway, I decided to do this because in this case the granite itself had a surface that it was a bit detailed, and so I decided to use it as the middle part of the goblet itself. But for example, this can be done for this type of hands. Instead, in other miniatures that are a bit older, that have big hands and so on, they can be done if they had also the punch as the hand, as type of pose. Otherwise, for example, you can use the hand that had a pistol itself, cut the upper part and the bottom part, and use the same trick. It's up to you decide how to realize it. Or if he has the middle part, if he has the hand opened or half opened, you can put the complete goblet inside it. So you have to decide to adapt this tip trick in the way that it can be convenient, it can be useful for you. So from deynonmod, it's everything. I invite you to put a like on this video, to subscribe to the channel, to ring the bell, and to comment this video if you are interested in something about this video, or you want to suggest me some arguments for other videos. I hope to see you again to the next time.